Hello YouTube, Triple E EDC back with another video. I have the Berg Blades Iron Wolf today. Now this is a discontinued model, so why am I putting a video out? Well, because there's two reasons. One is the secondary market still has plenty of these coming up every now and then. And number two, spoiler alert, this is a fantastic knife and I thought it deserved a review. To start out, let me go ahead and get you your specs. The overall length is 9 inches, closed length 5.25 inches, cutting edge 3.625 inches, blade length overall, blade length is 3.875 inches. So it's not a small knife, but it's a pretty good size. And the blade material is CPM S35VN, blade thickness 0.16 inches. Let me go ahead and show you some size comparisons. This is the 0452 from ZT-CF. And so you can see similarly sized, although the handle is a bit longer. Benchmade Crooked River, full-size Crooked River. Benchmade Contigo. This is another Wee knife, the Wee Chimera. And to give you some standard size comparisons, here's the PM2. And the full-size grip. And why not the Benchmade 940? So you can see, especially up against the 940, it's definitely a large knife. Now I mentioned another Wee knife before because Berg Blades, Matt Westberg was the designer, but this was actually made by Wee Knives out of China. And this was my second Wee knife. My first Wee knife would have been the Ferrum Forge Crux, which is actually made by Wee Knives as well. And I mentioned that I also have the Chimera. Now, what's good about this knife? Well, frankly, just about everything. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you have a green micarta here. That micarta is fantastic. It's very smooth, and I'll sort of give you a couple of comparisons on the micarta. I have the Benchmade proper here in micarta, and the Bradford Guardian also micarta, and I believe these are canvas micarta. I believe this is also canvas micarta. So to give you an idea on the feeling of it, if you have a Bradford knife in micarta, this is probably the roughest of the three. This is the second roughest, and this is completely smooth. So you can still feel a little bit of the micarta here and there, but it's almost completely smooth, and it feels great. The bolsters are stone-washed titanium. Pocket clip is milled pocket clip, milled titanium. Same with this bolster. It has a bolster lock. This bolster lock is actually really interesting. It actually, if you look here, it's like a liner lock that goes on the inside, except it's a bolster that moves because it's up against the micarta inlays over here. And so you can see, as far as fit and finish, everything is fit completely against the micarta here, except for this, where you, sorry, I knocked the camera, except for this, where you've got a little bit of space, but that's on purpose because you've got the bolster lock needs to be able to move. So the centering on this is fantastic, and you even have the backspacer here letting you know it's perfectly centered. That backspacer moves all the way around, and you see how it's chamfered on the sides to sort of give it this nice overall look. And again, the fit and finish on this is fantastic. There's a finger rest milled out of here so that when you, whoops, hit the table there, when you fire the knife, you've got that for your finger to rest on. The action on this is fantastic. I mean, when you compare this to any of the other knives on the table, this by far has the best action. I mean, it just flies out of there. Listen to that, especially when I give it some gusto. But when I just fire it a little bit, still fires completely out. To give you an idea of the action on this, let's look at the different Wii knives on the table. So you've got this one, and it's a little bit drop shutty, needs a little help. Got the Wii Chimera, a little bit more drop shutty. Now this one, it just falls shut. I mean, literally falls shut. No guiding whatsoever. And these are all Wii knives. So, one thing I will say is that the flipper tab does stick out a little bit. So if you're not a big fan of flipper tabs, you may have some trouble with that. But it's nice and big and thick, and I don't think it actually is sharp. It's chamfered down, so I'm not worried about that in the pocket. The blade is this stone-washed finish on it. The billboarding looks great. Has this nice fuller here and goes into a clip point. I really like the shape of the blade, and everything about this knife pretty much speaks to me. I'm doing this review a little bit unstructured just because, frankly, I have nothing bad to say about this knife, and I was struggling with what I could say badly about this knife, and really just, you know, if you're not a flipper tab person, that's the only thing I could say. So, again, excellent quality, excellent finish. I was really surprised at how well the build was on this, how good the quality was, even at the price point. This is one of the more expensive knives that I own, but this is fantastic. I think the price point when they were being sold was about $285. On the secondary market, you could probably find them, if you get lucky, around, you know, $325 or so, which isn't too bad, and it's definitely well worth it. So I would say if you can get one of these, as far as the build quality, for under $400, if it was me, I'd go ahead and take it. Now, they also have the Iron Pup, which is a smaller version of this, probably more akin to the size of your full-size grip. I haven't handled one of those, but if it's anything like this, if this is too big for you or it's illegal where you are, I would say, yeah, go ahead and get the Iron Pup. If you have any questions for me about this knife, please leave them in the comments. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'll be doing more reviews as things come up, and I still have plenty of knives to go through, and I have a couple of more on the way. So take care. Bye.